Good evening. This is Common Sense. I'm William Ferguson. And with this confirmation hearing with Judge Brett Kavanaugh and all these allegations of all kinds of sexual misconduct and drunkenness and all kinds of things, it makes me wonder what really is going on in the Democrat Party. Why don't they want a good, honest man as a Supreme Court justice? Well, the answer I came up with is actually in Bernie Sanders. You see, the Democrat Party, the liberals, are turning socialist. They want a socialist society. Now, if you notice anymore, the Democrats are trying to tell us what to do. The media, the fake news mainstream media, they keep pounding this and pounding this and pounding. Whatever it is, whatever lie they're pounding it hard. Why? Because when a human hears something enough times, they begin to believe it. Hey. So what's happening is all the left liberals, this includes Hollywood, everybody, papers, you name it, they seem to think that they know the best for everyone, a socialist society. And they were very angry when President Trump was elected in as President Trump. They wanted Hillary. Why? Hillary wanted socialism. And boy, did she pull some dirty tricks. But you know what? God does exist. And the prayers of the people were heard. And so God moved the people of this country to elect Donald Trump, of which that was a wonderful choice. Right now, this country is doing better than it ever has, and I mean in a long time. So, with the country doing better, President Trump promoting peace around the world, promoting trade around the world, working for the people so that the people have, not so that the government takes away. You see, I feel as though the liberals, the Democrats, I don't care what you call them anymore, because they're turning into socialists. And they want the power. They want to be able to tell you what to do. Even though they don't have a policy to stand on. Hey, it'll come up someday. Well, you know, if you're going to shoot up heroin and it's becoming a problem in our city, you know, maybe we should just let them shoot up heroin. That way we keep people out of the prisons. And we can keep more of the taxpayers' money and put it in our pockets. What a concept. And then the mainstream fake news media, they tell us that, well, there are millions of people that lost health insurance because President Trump is really just tearing it apart piece by piece. But he's already taken out the part that you don't have to have insurance. And what the government was doing, basically, was ripping off the young people that didn't even need insurance. They don't need insurance. So why pay for something you're not going to use? And they called the fine for not having insurance that would be taken out of your tax return a fine. That way it's not a tax. And it won't carry the law of a tax. Whereas, I believe a fine, they can do anything they want with it. But what were they doing with it? I got a feeling somebody's pocket had a little bit more money in it. But not only that, the Democrats had a little bit more power to say, no, you don't get insurance. You're too old. You have a disease that's going to kill you. We're not paying for that. Just die. That's what you call a death panel. They didn't care, and they still don't care. And they're trying every dirty trick in the book that they can think of so that Judge Brett Kavanaugh does not sit on the Supreme Court. Why? Because he believes in the truth. He believes in justice. He believes in the Constitution and that it was written for the people. He believes that people are responsible for their actions, not to be told what to do by a political party, whether it be Democrat, Republican, or socialist. He's against that because he knows that human beings are responsible for their actions. And I was wondering, out of all the Democrat liberals in Washington, D.C., how many of their constituents, people living in their districts, have asked them specifically, we don't want Judge Kavanaugh? Or are the Democrat liberals telling their districts, no, you don't want Kavanaugh. You don't. You don't. Because we are going to tell you what to do, what to think, how to vote. Whereas the Republicans are actually doing, in order to forward this country, prosperity, safety, security, moral values. And it seems like the Democrats, they want to be able to say, you know what? You let us do whatever we want, and we'll let you do whatever you want, to a certain extent. Just listen to the mainstream fake news, and they'll brainwash you into what you want to do. There you go. That way, the socialist Democrats can have control over everything. I say, it's not the Democrat Party anymore. It's not the Democrat Party of John Kennedy at all. It's become a leftist socialist party. Literally, it has. And they want socialism bad because they want to be able to take everything they can from every citizen of this country. And that makes me sick. So, what do we do about it? Well, we're at a midterm. Let's get as many of these, I'm going to tell you what to do, liberal Democrats out of office. Unless you really want to be told what to do, and you don't want your district fought for in Washington, D.C. to get funding for, I don't know, say a new police department, a fire department, get your airport fixed, and such like that. If you don't want that, vote Democrat. Because they're not looking to spend money on anything but themselves. Maybe they'll get private jets and fly all over the world on taxpayer money. It seems like that's what they want to do. Let's get rid of them. Maxine Waters, I haven't heard a policy come out of her lips. The only thing I've heard come out of her lips is impeach 45. Just because, I guess. Give them something to do. Pelosi, she was the one that brought in Obamacare into the chambers and said you can know what's in it after you pass it, which is actually against the Constitution. That's not how it works. Feinstein. She's a winner there. Boy, she had that letter for, 6 weeks? And then it finally, suddenly, here it is. Look, Judge Brett Kavanaugh had tried to force himself on a girl at a high school party that she doesn't know where it was or when it was or how it happened, how she got home or anything. Sounds like a pipe dream to me. And now we've got another gal coming out saying, oh, he exposed himself to me. When and where? Really? I think that women that falsely accuse men of sexual misconduct, rape, anything sexual against a man that cannot be proven, and in the end is disproven, should spend the rest of their lives in prison because they're ruining people's lives. They are lying to gain something. I've got a feeling that the doctor, the first accuser of Kavanaugh, somehow decided, if I have a good enough attorney and I lie, they can keep me out of prison. If they're good enough, I'll bet they can. Slide them a few bucks, and we can keep Kavanaugh out of the Supreme Court. And I'll be the hero. But if it goes wrong, you should spend some time in prison. Because that's a pretty serious allegation that you're making against a judge. A federal judge seeking a position, a seat on the United States Supreme Court, the highest court in the nation. The man is respectable, honorable. He's got people behind him that he probably hasn't seen in years. They heard about this garbage, and they said, whoa, this ain't Brett Kavanaugh that I know. He's a good man. He's solid. He's got integrity. He lives by a certain moral standard. But no. And you know that the mainstream fake news media is just driving this into the dirt. And I've heard all of, oh my gosh, they have just found him guilty. He's guilty that the moon rotates around the earth now. I wouldn't be surprised if he found guilty of the Black Plague or something. They, without knowing anything or hearing anything, the mainstream fake news media, they've already got him guilty. He's already in prison by now. And it's ridiculous. And that is proof that even the media wants socialism. Because if the media can tell the liberals, the liberal socialists, you know what, you can do anything you want and we'll cover it up for you. We will, but you're going to have to pay. It's going to be a hefty price, but we'll cover it up for you. Anything you do, we'll cover it up for you. We'll tell the people of this country so many lies it'll make their heads spin. You can just do whatever you want. Does that sound unreasonable? Not to me. Look at Pyongyang in North Korea. What happens there? Everything. What happens in the rest of North Korea? Oh, concentration camps, work camps, starvation, lack of health care, lack of everything. Because every dime that comes in to North Korea, or that was, is being spent on the Socialist Party in Pyongyang. So, do we want socialism in this country? I think not. The founders and the people that came before the founders, they worked hard. They suffered some serious stuff Because remember, they came into the East Coast, northeast coast, where it gets brutally cold in the wintertime. And they had no houses. They had food. They had to hunt it, cook it, and whatever. They had to cut their own wood to make their houses, cook their food, and everything like that. And they sacrificed. If they had a child, that child would have been lucky to live. So, the founders of this country, they'd be rolling in their graves right now if they could hear even 1 hour of argument from a Democrat. And they would tell us, you're doing this all wrong. That's not what this country, that's not what we worked for. We worked for freedom. The freedom that was written in the Constitution of this United States, in the Declaration of Independence from England, a socialist country. We don't want socialism. If you want socialism, move. Go somewhere else. We don't want you here. We don't want the liberal socialist Democrats here. We want to be free. We want to be responsible for ourselves. And it really irritates me that there are so many lazy people in this world. I don't care. They'll do it. I'll just vote for whoever's on the ballot. If I recognize the name, I'll vote for him. And if it's a Democrat, because they'll give us stuff. They are Santacrats. They'll give us everything we want. But the Republicans are going to make us work for it. It's called responsibility. And the Republicans have responsibility. The Democrats don't want it because they want to tell you what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. And they want to take everything from you. That's all I've got for now. Please pray for the leadership of this country, that they will guide this country to safety, security, peace, prosperity, unity, and that they will follow the Constitution to keep our freedoms. And pray for those who have lost loved ones, who have been devastated in natural disasters. Keep your head up and vote. Vote positively. Vote so that this country can keep moving forward without the Democrats getting in the way. I thank you for watching. I'm William Ferguson, and this is Common Sense.